Welcome to this episode of the VMI Leader Journey on VMI's Civil Debate Program. I am your host, Major Catherine Roy, Communications and Marketing Manager for the Center for Leadership and Ethics. Virginia Military Institute has been designated as one of only 10 colleges nationwide named to be a community of practice by Braver Angels, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting civil discourse in their college debates and discourse program through a grant from the John Templeton Foundation. Braver Angels trained experts teach students to express their views, frame persuasive arguments, listen deeply, and engage respectfully with each other around issues that are typically difficult and divisive. Their debates are not competitive, but a collective exercise in thoughtfulness, respect, and a search for the truth. They are conducted in a light parliamentary style and guided by a trained chairperson. Each debate centers on a resolution that is chosen in advance. On today's edition of the VMI Leader Journey podcast, we will hear more about this program, which includes reflections by VMI cadets regarding the importance and impact this program has had and will have. Through this program, VMI intends to lead the way and set the standard of civil discourse and debate.
VMI first became involved with the Braver Angels organization back in 2017 when our Center for Leadership and Ethics held its annual Leadership and Ethics Conference that had the theme that year of civil discourse. When we invited David Blankenhorn, who is one of the co-founders of the Braver Angels organization, to speak at that conference. Braver Angels is an organization devoted to bridging the political and civil divide in our country and promoting civil discourse. Since then, we invited the organization back in 2021 to that year's Leadership and Ethics Conference because we learned they had a college debate program. And we incorporated their college debates into that conference. We actually had 4 separate debates occur during that conference. They brought down their trained debate moderators, and it was a great success. As part of running that conference and learning about the debates and planning for it, the Center for Leadership and Ethics thought this would be a great opportunity to continue offering these debates at VMI, and at that point we reached out to the Building Bridges Club to invite them to the conference and to participate in the debates and see if this was something they might want to take on going forward. So I am going to let Valentina talk about how that went with them.
The Building Bridges Club was established a long time ago in 2014. And part of the mission of the Building Bridges Club is to establish sort of symbolic bridges between faculty, staff, cadets, and the local community. And so when Colonel Connolly invited us to go to the debates, we thought that would be a great opportunity to see whether we could extend our programming into something that would create further bridges between cadets, faculty, staff, and the community. It felt like people approached the issue with empathy, and they approached it constructively, which was so refreshing to see after all of the rancor and polarization that we've seen in the news and just in real life. So Building Bridges decided to really take the lead on promoting this program going forward and collaborating with the CLE on that project. And we started holding debates once per semester. We've had a number of different debates. Some of them have been very successful. Some of them have had moderate success in terms of attracting cadets to get involved. But overall, I feel like it has been a very useful and refreshing experience.
So Building Bridges first got involved with the Braver Angels organization and the debates in spring of 2022. So it was after the conference in the fall of 2021, and we worked together with a CLE and Braver Angels to sponsor our first debate, and it was women, I believe the resolution was women should not be allowed in combat roles. And then since then, we had a debate in fall of 2022 that had to do with social media as a threat to democracy. And then most recently, spring of 2023, the resolution was that athletes should be required to participate in all activities, including the rat line.
We had at that point, we had two debates on campus, and we really enjoyed the collaboration with Luke Phillips and Doug Spry. They are both affiliated with Braver Angels. Luke Phillips has been the facilitator for our debates here on Post, and Doug Spry has been the liaison for the program. And so we've had great collaboration with them. And Doug had mentioned that they were considering putting together a research proposal to evaluate how the debates impact students and just participants' attitudes toward civil discourse, toward how they approach engaging in debates, and toward academic humility or intellectual humility. And he mentioned that they were applying for a big grant and that they had really enjoyed working with us. Once they applied for the grant and they got it, they reached out to us and they said that they would like us to be one of the communities of practice for that research project. They selected 10 universities, community colleges across the United States, and they were looking for a variety of institutions to work with. And so they selected us to be one of the communities of practice. In this program, they are training us how to facilitate the debates. They are providing a lot of resources for our cadet leaders, who we'll talk about in a minute. And they try to encourage us and provide resources for us to develop a community of practice, a community that is going to practice civil discourse actively, not just during the research project, but in the long run as well.
The research entails some pre and post test that cadets or anyone really who participates in the debate can take. These are online surveys, and they're really interested in shifts in people's intellectual humility, their willingness to engage in difficult conversations. And so these 10 colleges, universities from across the country are gathering similar data. And after a year and a half, 3 different semesters of debates across all of these colleges, they'll pool all that data to see what effect these college debates have on students' attitudes, perceptions of others, etc. So Katie Lloyd and Devin Thomas are our 2 student fellows. They work closely with us to devise the debates, and they were chosen because of their participation even before our collaboration with this grant. They've been heavily involved in the debates, and now they are part of this grant process. So they went through a selection process, they were interviewed by Braver Angels, and they represent our students, and they're engaged in some training to help facilitate this community of practice here at VMI, not just in the post-wide debates, but also some smaller discussions that they're attempting to get off the ground. So I'll let Katie and Devin talk about their experiences, how we consider debate topics.
Hi, my name is Katie Lloyd, class of 23. I'm an international studies major, and I got involved with this because I really like having open conversations. I think it's really important to have a place where you can talk openly and freely and not have reservations about what you're going to say, where you're scared of repercussions of what you can say. And seeing some of these debates, how they've gotten off the ground, and some of the things that I've seen said, it's just really cool to see a place where people aren't scared to be 100% truthful and without fear of repercussion of what they're saying.
Hi, my name is Devin Thomas. I'm class of 2024, a Institute Honors Cadet and International Studies major and National Security minor. I actually got involved with Braver Angels through Katie. So Katie and I have known each other, been acquaintances for a while during both of our cadetships. And last fall we had a class together, Strategy and Power, with Colonel Backage. And I got out to the debate. That's where I met Colonel DG, Colonel Connolly, and Colonel Whipple, actually. And Luke Phillips, who's the main mediator, facilitator of our debates post-wide that we have here. And it wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be. The structure that Braver Angels provides for debates. Debates is the term that we use, but it's not a debate at all. It's not a one side versus the other, and you're trying to argue to essentially win and prove your point. It's a forum where people can come together and express their own views and ideas while also understanding the viewpoints of others to create that shared understanding and erode the divide that we have across multiple societies in this nation. And so kind of what drew me in was there's no direct you versus me talk within a Braver Angels debate. Essentially, the mediator, who is named the chair during the debates, will open the debate up, and we have opening speakers who will give a 2 to 4 minute verbal presentation on either if they're in the affirmative or the negative for the resolution. And then once they're done giving their speech, we have questions, and the question is framed directly to the chair and refers to the speaker in the third person. So it takes the emotion out of words and makes you really focus on the logic of what you're saying when you're asking a question or just giving a speech. So I really enjoyed that. I got involved in the debate, and then afterwards, Katie approached me about being a student fellow, that position in opening up, and I was pretty much all in from there.
So something I've like, we're looking for another student fellow for next year. Devin's more taking the lead on that because I won't be here. But I like to tell them, like, there's a couple people that came up to me and, you know, why should I do this? Or why you ask me about this? Like, why are you guys putting this out here? And it's something about just basic conversational skills. And I say basic, but it's not really basic. It's maybe it is, I don't know, but it's
Basic human decency.
yeah, key conversational skills and not arguing and actually being able to listen.
I think it's an innate human need just to be heard. So when you turn on the media and they might have a panel, quote, discussion over a contentious topic, usually what it ends up is a lot of people talking over each other. And none of the people on that panel and none of the people watching feel that their point of view is actually heard. So the format of these debates is that, you know, you're actually listening, and when you're talking you feel like, all right, they hear what I'm saying. I don't have to repeat myself 12 times and get louder and louder and louder to know that they've heard me, they understand me. And to me the goal is if I don't agree with you, but I can mirror back to you your point of view. All right, what I hear you saying is XYZ. That's powerful. It doesn't mean you necessarily change my point of view, but if you understand that I hear you, that's very powerful. I think that's one of the beauty of this debate format.
I think the way we view it is as a brave space, right? It's a space where you come in and you're not afraid to share your experience, your thoughts. And we are looking for enriching the conversation, active listening, and we're looking to ensure that people feel comfortable engaging in a discussion rather than keeping their thoughts to themselves, because the way to move forward is to gain a better understanding, mutual understanding of where people come from, what they experience, what their thoughts are. And if we don't have open conversation, then we tend to go into our siloed existence and diverge even more. And I think democracy works best if we have a conversation, and if we have civility, but also have that conversation and not shut down conversations. And for me, that has been really useful to see in these debates, having the ability to engage thoughtfully and both bolster that idea of freedom of speech and freedom of expression, but also facilitate a very thoughtful and civil discussion where everybody comes to the table in good faith. And we had a conversation about this idea of people engaging in bad faith and how the Brave Angels format tends to really draw out those people and show everybody that that is not a good faith argument. So I found the debates to be very constructive and very enriching, not just personally, but I think as a community.